How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of FSI's NHL DFS preview show. I am your host, TK Nation. I'm joined with McKinley_412. How you doing, McKinley? And how did your night fare on Monday?
I'm doing great. I'm very thankful for Tarasenko. We cored him here at FSI. Another 2-goal night for him. I think he hit almost 30 points. So he definitely saved me because I went Florida 1 and not Florida 2. I did have shares of Florida 2, but not enough. So
yeah, definitely a slate where it was a roulette of the biggest favorite at that minus 420 favorite. But Florida did come out on top and had a couple of good lineups. But yeah, we're moving on to Monday. We have a 7-game slate, a lot of news to get to. So let's start off with the center position. Kick us off with what you think the main piece of tomorrow's news is.
I think it's got to be Crosby. He started to practice with the team on Monday. I still don't think he's going to be playing. We're recording this the night before, so obviously the news hasn't come out yet. But I doubt he's going to be back or taken off of IR overnight or tomorrow morning. I think I saw somewhere that he is practicing, but he's still not really taking like hits or anything like that. So his chances of playing tomorrow are slim to none. But if he is in, some miracle does happen. 5.7K, I think he got to be interested in that for sure.
Absolutely. I think that was the starting point to the slate. If Crosby's in, it's the biggest lock on the slate. If he's out, then you just carry on as normal, right? There is one standalone up here up top. That's Nathan McKinnon in the center position. I know you like this spot. Speak on Colorado's chances tomorrow and Nathan McKinnon as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, McKinnon at home with Landeskog and Rantanen, like that was just pure lock and load for however long last season and the year before that as well. So that trio is just insane on home ice. And they're going to be going up against Vegas, who just continues to be decimated by injuries. Nolan Patrick was out, and then they've lost Pacioretty and Stone, and Tuck's still out. Alex Martinez is day-to-day. White Cloud's out. So, they're missing major key defensive pieces and guys right down the middle as well. So I don't think a guy like, Carlson or Stevenson is really going to be able to stop McKinnon here. And he did get a slight decrease in his salary. I didn't really check that. He did. He went down from 8.7K to 8.1. So I don't know what was going on there, but I think he's definitely a top play for the slate tomorrow.
Absolutely. Moving on into my favorite GPP spot here at center is Elias Pedersen for Vancouver. I like this as a home spot for Vancouver. I think they've spent the last couple of games away. Minnesota just got thrashed on Sunday versus giving up 5 goals at home. I think Elias is in a good spot here to head a pretty good line with, I believe it is Miller and Bozer, or is it Bozer and Pearson? But either way, I think Elias makes for a good spot here on the GPP center position as a expensive center if you're looking for a pivot. Your thoughts on that and your next man up here at center?
Yeah, I mean, I got no issues with that, especially with Minnesota coming off that rough game. I think if I'm in cash, you guys know by now I'm the cash brain, you're the GPP. I'd be looking more towards a guy like Lindholm or a guy like Braden Point. I'm probably going to be leaning more towards Lindholm at 6.5. It's kind of the same thing, as McKinnon. New Jersey, they lost Jack Hughes, top centerman there. So Lindholm should be pretty clear sailing here on the road. He's got a goal every single game so far this season. Plays on the power play, plays on the penalty kill. He can rack you up stats in every single category. So I love Lindholm at 6.5 because his price has been stagnant, even though he's putting up 22 points a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a bad play there. Obviously, Calgary beat New York tonight. They're on a back-to-back, but it doesn't look like too much travel with New York to New Jersey. So is it a true back-to-back? Probably not.
I think the Rangers and New Jersey, that is the closest travel between two teams in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, so I really don't mind the Calgary spot as well with that back-to-back. It's not as gruesome as others. Nick Suzuki, I like Nick Suzuki. He's a goal scorer, but he hasn't done anything for Montreal. They started out slow. But we've seen some centermen score against this Seattle team. I think it's viable in GVPs, but it's not my favorite spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I'm looking
I also
right.
like Yanni Gordon in the same game.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No. All you.
I was going to say I like Yanni Gordon. I like Yanni Gordon that same spot in that same game. 4,100 in that top line. I believe he gets power play time as well. He had a power play assist against New Jersey in his debut. So I like Yanni as that cheap punt center option. Any other centers you want to talk about?
If we're talking about cheap punt center options, if Crosby's not going, Evan Rodriguez, 3.9K. He's top line center for Pittsburgh, going up against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay they lost to Buffalo. But apparently Buffalo's good now. I'm so confused. I'm loving it, but I'm so confused. But Evan Rodriguez, former Sabre here, goals in 3 out of 5. He's been doing pretty well here. So you can't really complain and argue with what he's been able to produce.
Right. Yeah, man. Like I said yesterday on the video, Buffalo, man. It's happening all the way.
We'll see you in the playoffs.
Yeah. All right. Next up is the winger position. As we said, but with McKinnon, you have Mikko Rantanen at 8K. I like playing him over Landeskog if I was to only pick 2. Typically, that is the most expensive line on the slate anytime they get on the slate. But I certainly can't ignore Mikko. Any love for Stamkos? He's had quite a bit of good. Quite a good season so far.
He's had a good season. He even looks like he was around the puck a lot tonight against the Sabres. Obviously, I watched that game. So he was around the puck a lot. He did get a couple shots late in the end of the game. But, that top line just looks so off. Like Braden Point did nothing all game long. Stamkos was really doing all the work himself. He can't. Really, that Tampa Bay 2 line that was looking way better. And they were looking way better kind of this entire season so far. So if I would be targeting Tampa Bay, I'd be more towards that like Cirelli Killorn line rather than the Stamkos Point line. But I've been burned by Point too many times, I think.
Yeah, I'm staying away from Tampa Bay tomorrow. Pittsburgh's on a lot of rest. Tampa on the back-to-back. Kyle Connor, easily one of the hottest players in the NHL right now. Got to keep playing him.
Love him. I've been playing him for years now. I just think he's fantastic for DFS with the shots that he's able to generate, scoring ability. And now he's going up against Anaheim, who has struggled really against the winger position here. So I think Connor's a great spend up position if you're not going up to Rantanen. It's going to be tough to get both of them.
Yeah. Connor definitely in a great spot. Going to keep playing him. Although you guys know I do like targeting the Ducks, just not right here. Connor is just unbelievably hot, and I'm not going up against that. What about Krilly Kaprizov? Any love for him versus Vancouver? I think I'm going to stay with Minnesota tomorrow.
Lagged out a little there. I think he said Kaprizov for Minnesota. Yeah, he's fine. I don't know what to think of this game tomorrow. Minnesota and Vancouver. That Kaprizov x Zuccarello line looked fantastic. And then they met the behemoth of the Nashville Predators on Sunday and couldn't do anything. I think there's far better options in cash than Kaprizov up in this range. But for GPP, I totally understand it if you want to go there.
Yeah, sorry for the lag. That was definitely talking about how I'm off Minnesota tomorrow versus Vancouver.
Okay.
Any other wingers here at the top that you like?
Not really. I feel like I'm going to be spending up at the center position just on my complete initial builds. I haven't dove too deep into this, but it looks like it's going to be kind of spend up for center and then kind of pay down in mid or even in the mid range for the winger.
Okie dokie. I do have, I want to talk about Bozer, obviously, with Pedersen. I tried to get that in with the center spot. Conor Garland, another player I like in Vancouver. He's on the second line with Bo Horvat, but he's got a goal and assist in his last 2 games. He gets power play time. Jared McCann for Seattle. He's been their best player, I would say, so far. He's got either a goal and assist in his 6 out of his last 7 games for the team. So if they're scoring, usually McCann is involved, only 5,400. I think that's a decent one-off player. You want to pair him with a defender. I guess you have Tatar, New Jersey versus Calgary. He gets pucks in that. Kukainen, I guess, for New Jersey. It's hard to pinpoint New Jersey Devils tomorrow versus Calgary.
Yeah, New Jersey is never a fun team for me in DFS just because you just never know where the scoring is coming from. So yeah, I'm kind of off New Jersey just from that standpoint and cash, just because you just never really know. Kind of down in that range, in that 4K range, Kapanen for Pittsburgh, skating on that top line, getting top power play unit time as well. And with all the injury and like he's shooting the puck, he's getting on some nights he's getting close to 20 minutes of ice time. And like you said, Tampa Bay's on this back-to-back, which doesn't really mean much overall, especially earlier on in the season here. But I mean, I think he's still a guy who's able to get the puck into the back of the net. And a 4.4K, he's not going to really be burning your lineup if he only generates a couple shots on net for you, maybe a block shot here and there.
Only other one I want to mention is Nils Hoglander at 3,300 for Vancouver. As you can tell, I'm all in on this Vancouver spot tomorrow. Don't mind him. He puts on a lot of shots on goal. He doesn't really have much power play time, though. This is a true punt. So you punt and pray and hope he can score. But he does have a okay floor, I would say, but not enough for cash games. Moving on to the defender position. Give me your top defender play for tomorrow's slate.
Well, it's not Hedman. I mean, 7.9K is just that's getting up there, especially with the 1.5 he gave tonight, and just I don't know, 7.9K is ridiculous. Top play guy. I mean, I probably lean towards a guy like Pietrangelo, who's going to see like close to 30 minutes of ice time. Brent Burns has looked like the Brent Burns of old. Theodore also is going to be seeing close to like 30 minutes of ice time for Vegas with all the injuries that they have on D. So I'd probably be going with a Vegas D. Dumba, I mean, we were all over Dumba when he was 4.4K, but now at 6.2, he is creeping on up there. But he's still a guy who can get you that shot bonus or the block shot bonus, or put the puck in the back of the net too. So I think there's lots of great options to go to up here. Which one I land on, I'm not sure yet, obviously. But I think there's lots of great options. Guys who's going to see a lot of ice time due to injuries.
Yeah, my favorite is going to be OEL, Ekman Larson. Puts a lot of shots on goal from that Vancouver defensive spot. We saw Yossi score a goal and give 3 assists on that Sunday slate. I think Larson and Quinn Hughes make for really solid options. Also, you can never go wrong with Giordano. It's only a matter of time before this guy starts finding, as he did last game, the back of the net, but, multiple points and him with McCann. You can go with Olo. Any others mid-range defenders that, catch your eye?
Not really mid-range, but John Marino for Pittsburgh. With Letang out because he has positive COVID. Marino kind of stepped into his role, 3.4K. He logged 26 minutes of ice time at that price. He quarterbacks a top power play unit for Pittsburgh as well. So he's definitely a guy that you need to have on your radar tomorrow in your games.
Yeah, absolutely. Marino, that was a great call. Probably going to be a lock-in load for us. I don't mind Erik Karlsson either for San Jose. He looks to have a little bit of a offensive spark going on so far this year. Only has 3 shots on goal in 1 game, but when he shoots, he's making it count. He's got four helpers and 2 goals. Carlson looks to be back and at 4 as well. It's hard to pick a full line, so I like to pick maybe the goal scorer with Carlson and try to do it that way.
Mhm.
Thoughts on him and anything else on defense?
Yeah, I mean, it's still weird to me seeing Carlson below like 7,000 just based on what he's been able to do in his career. But I mean, like maybe another guy is just continuing on with that Vegas D. If Alec Martinez is out, Nick Egg has kind of been filling in. He's been getting a lot of ice time. His price kind of went through the roof. He's at 4.2 now. Back when he was 2.8K, was much more nice. But the other Vegas guy I would be looking at is Miramanov at 2.5K. He's min priced. Probably gonna see maybe 13, 15 minutes of ice time, but he is able to get on the score sheet. He kind of proved that in the KHL last year. He's doing well in the minors so far this year before he got called up. So I think Miramanov is a nice like complete punt play if you do want to go there on defense.
Yeah, quite a bit of good defensive salary savings on this slate. Kind of like where that's heading. That's usually up my alley for GPPs. Could be pairing a few of those punts together and maybe going for it on the winger position. But any leans on goalie? I know we don't have any, locked in. It's something we usually figure out like 3 hours before the slate starts. But any kind of idea?
Not right now. I mean, no. Not right now. Vegas is probably going to be like Leonard or whoever's in that for Vegas is probably going to see a lot of shots from Colorado. So if you want to, GPP, fade that Colorado top line and just, pray that they shoot the puck 40 times. I mean, Leonard could be a decent option there, but I don't know. It's initial glance. It's looking pretty gross. For goalie, it's kind of where am I going to land? I never start my lineups with goalie.
Yep. I mean, Merz Lincoln's isn't on the slate, so we don't have true. The obvious choice.
Yeah, he's done very well this season.
All right. Great. Yeah, he is. It'd be 4-0. There's a couple of goalies that I, was heavily on, and Igor was one of them, and he just blew it up today. So,
yeah,
maybe the move is Calgary. Alrighty, guys. Well, that'll wrap things up. Hopefully this wasn't too laggy, and hopefully you got enough of information that you needed for tomorrow's slate. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at TKNation47. That is McKinley_412. Follow us, like the video, subscribe, and comment below with any questions you might have. So enjoy tomorrow's slate, and good luck.